Eiste bhainúiste bhhailm fáilte a chuiribh chulghine go dtí gaiileh. Tá mé ansásta go bhfuil an ALO Forum siúl I gcathair na gaiileheh. You're most welcome to Galway. You've picked a great venue for your deliberations. I left Westport this morning from another conference and I could see nothing. It was lashing rain and a terrible mist, so you've obviously chosen the best venue. My name is Phaidin. I work here with City of Galway VEC, and I suppose I just like to welcome you and just to maybe refer briefly to some of the landscape issues that are affecting our sector in the current climate with all that's going on. As you know, there's been a huge change and debate about the future of higher education with the Hunt report and how it should be configured, and aggregations and associations and possibilities of technical universities and so on. There's also been a huge and ongoing debate within our own sector with the creation of ETBs, with the ending of FÁS and the establishment of SOLAS, and really a whole argument and debate about what is the future of further education, and within that how might the different aspects or services that we currently provide, and maybe some that we haven't yet thought of providing, how might that all be configured and arranged? I think it's particularly timely that this debate is ongoing. As I speak to you now, Martin Hanavy, the Assistant Secretary of the Department of Education and Skills, is addressing my colleague CEOs in Westport, so I've no doubt that some of that landscape is being unfolded probably as we speak here, and no more than yourselves, I'm keen to find out how some of that may be configured. Traditionally in the further education space, and one of the challenges that we have, and yesterday in Westport we had Paul O'Toole, the Director Designate of SOLAS, addressing us. One of the challenges has been that there has never been, if you like, an agreed definition of what further education is. We're very clear on what it isn't, and it basically is everything else other than the preordained spaces that other people have chosen to occupy. It's probably timely that that definition is created and that a strategy for delivery on the service and on what is required within the further education space is agreed. Traditionally, in this country, we've had a silo approach to further education. We tend to think of it as discrete and separate services. BTEI, VTOS, adult basic education, community education, youth work and youth-related activity, each with their own funding streams, their own reporting mechanisms, and very little crossover. That will probably change. We're fairly sure that that will change, and it will change because the resourcing that will be available to us in the longer term is most definitely going to be less than it has been to date. We're all sure of that. How it unfolds and how it evolves is still an open question. And I think from what I have seen up to now, that there will be maybe a much more considerable change from the way maybe some of the other services have traditionally done their business, moving much more in the direction of what the literacy service and the basic education service have always been. In other words, very much community focused, very much end user and learner focused, very much dispersed, very much organised in a way that suits the end user and the recipient. So you have actually, in many ways, pioneered and piloted the kind of service and the kind of reaching that is being envisaged within the broader FE landscape currently. And I think that gives huge opportunity, because like any people who have conquered a land first, you can actually shape how it develops. So I think while everybody is fearful and conscious of the changes and what might be done to us, there's also opportunity to repeat the quote of never waste a crisis. You know, we have a great chance to map out how some of that landscape will be configured. So I think there's opportunity within it as well, because nobody has all of the answers, and I don't think anybody currently has a clear picture even of how they might like to see it. So rather than maybe some of the fears that we've experienced in the discussions up to now over the past year or 18 months, it might move that discussion onwards a little. I'd like to take this opportunity, I suppose, to mention the GABES, the Galway Adult Basic Education Service, and to thank Kieran and Alison for the development of that service. The service in Galway has grown hugely over the last several years, and there's a huge amount of work has gone into that. The adult education officers currently are pondering the question that I've just mentioned. How might the services that we deliver be configured fit for purpose for the future? I think you should contribute very, very strongly into that space and ensure that the kind of model that suits the end user, that suits the learners, will be the model that all of the FE deliverers will be working to into the future. And just to finish on a lighter note, I was in a hurry on Tuesday morning to get out because I was giving somebody a lift to Westport, and at 7 o'clock I had my 3 or 4 pages on the table of what I was supposed to be doing over the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And I had ALOA on the top of the page, and my 10-year-old was looking, he said, "What's that?" Oh, I said, "It's something I've been invited to give a couple of minutes talk and to share." And he says, "I know what, you're going to Hawaii?" So maybe that's the lesson in the whole idea of functional literacy and how people can interpret or misinterpret, and very often even. So I took great. I shared that last night with some of my colleagues above, and it was maybe particularly apt given the context that we're speaking in.